It seems like the Brazilian scene has some problem creating this strong top-tier team. Do you think you can do that, and this is something you hope to do in the future?
I think the Brazilian scene, after 2016-17, the new pool of talent that came up, they were very reserved on their own project. For example, the Fourier players, they never really meshed together with the other good core that existed in Brazil. So in certain ways, they tried to go their own road. And in my opinion, they have been doing pretty good for what you expect for an organization to have and what you expect for results to happen. Definitely not as good as we have done back in 2016 and 17, but those things are difficult to get. So in that sense, I think the best Brazilian possible teams never really existed. After 2017, we were never really able to put all the best Brazilian players together, and because of that, we never really saw a Brazilian team contending for top 1 in the world, even though Fourier is the one that got closest, but in my opinion, not close enough. So on my side, I would love to put up a team together that could be facing the top 1 team in the world, but it just doesn't seem very realistic at the moment to be able to put all those pieces together. I think that we live in a very different moment than 2016-17 as well. So probably the next decision I'm going to take in my career is not even going to be related specifically towards that. I'm going to have some different goals as well, but it's yet to be seen. I'm still organizing my thoughts and organizing the possibilities I'm going to have on my hands.
Why is it not realistic to create this top team, top Brazilian team?
I think in order to create a top Brazilian team, you would have to match some Fourier players with other people from other teams, and I don't see that happening. We already have many opportunities to do that in the past, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen this time either.
There's been some talk with this last dance roster with some of the guys from the 2016-2017. So you're saying that you don't think that that team could be as contender in this CSGO landscape?
Well, we're talking about being top 1, right? Looking for become the best team in the world. And I mean, if you want to build a team that's gonna be right away in the conversations of being the best team in the world, then in order for a Brazilian team to be like that, you'd have to put certain pieces together that doesn't ever seem to exist. You know, that's why I say a Brazilian tier 1 team in that situation specifically is very tough to build. But if you want to talk about creating a team that's going to evolve slowly into maybe one day becoming a contender, that's more where my possible project is going to be about, and that's more what a godsend is about. For example, you know, building things slowly and going through all the things you have to go through to become a better team. Then yeah, there are a couple other Brazilian teams that could get there, including Fourier, for example, but the conversation was more towards being the best right away, right, or having the chance to be the best right away. I don't think any Brazilian team can do that at the moment, including myself and any other roster putting at the moment. For me to get there, they'll require a couple time. They will require a lot of specific things to go our way. And I mean, every single team in the world is trying to become the best, and it's not something you can easily do.
Are you dedicated to continue playing CSGO next year?
I am dedicated to continue playing CSGO. It's the thing I like the most on my life is playing competitive CSGO, and I'm looking towards my options. And you know, as we just talked about how unfortunate it is for a competitive player to be playing in a team that's going to go through changes and you still have to finish the calendar. It's kind of the same when you want to build another project. You kind of need to finish one thing first to then start building something else, you know, and this is going to be my last tournament with Team Liquid, most likely for next year. So that's when things can start revamping, and then I can start looking straight to the opportunities I'm going to have for next year.
What do you hope to achieve next year for you personally?
For me personally, it's very personal reasonings, but mainly what I wanted to achieve is, I personally think that during the last 3 years of my career, since 2018, I have been dealing with a lot of impatience inside the teams I have played with. And when I mention impatience, it's not such a easy concept to understand. It's more about, I have built a champion team in the past, and I kind of know which things you have to go through to become one. And during the last lineups, including the lineups I had with Brazilians in the past too, after 2018, I think the people I have been playing with, they were not really willing to go through all those sacrifices and all this time that you have to commit to really get as good as you want to. And here in Toledo it wasn't different. When I joined this team, those guys won a lot in 2019 as well, so they kind of had the same vibes that I had in 2017-16, that hey, I want to win right now, I want to win next week, I want to win next month, like I'm not looking for next year. And when you act like that, at least for me, you kind of lose a little bit of the fun, because a lot of problems comes with that kind of mentality. So for my next projects, I kind of want to play in a position where, even though we want to be the best and we strive to be the best and we work to be the best, we kind of accept the reality we're in at the moment, and then we slowly work towards the future. With the knowledge that I have built in the past, I think I have a good chance to pull it through, and it's just all about finding the right opportunity, the right pieces, and trying to get people that, at least during the moment they're going through their lives right now, they're going to be willing to go through all those things that I think it's important to have fun, and then maybe being a top 1 team in the world again, So that's what I'm looking more for next year. Kind of have this atmosphere where we're trying to build things from the scratch. We're accepting the level we're at the moment, and then we're enjoying the process. Because for me, the last 2 years, the process hasn't been as enjoyable as I'd like it to be.